What's going on? Welcome back to Normal Baseball. Spring training has finally started and baseball is back. Let's talk about it. What's going on? Welcome back to yet another episode of the Normal Baseball Podcast. I'm Alex Normal Dog. That's Lewis. And today we're going to be talking about baseball. Spring training is finally here, which means baseball is officially back.
Round of
Give a
applause,
nice
round of applause.
round of
Thank
applause for
God.
baseball. Love to see it. It's about time. It's been a fun off season. It's been a kind of a long off season. Um, so I am beyond excited to have baseball back.
Amen. Well said.
How,
Well said.
how are you feeling?
I'm
Weather's
feeling
starting to get
good.
better.
Yeah, the weather's getting better. I mean, you wake up, you can smell it. Baseball's in the air, baby. It's the only thing that we're looking forward to, and it's getting this much closer every day.
That was something about that. It was just really corny. Anyway, um, yeah. So baseball's back. About time. I think everyone's happy about that. And spring training has begun. We're gonna talk about it.
We're
That's what we do. We
Might as
talk about
well.
baseball.
Do we?
Um, what? I think so. Sometimes.
Yeah, it's probably
Some,
sometimes. That's fair.
all right. Let's just get right into it. So pitchers and catchers reported last week. Fun times. We saw a lot of new guys in new uniforms. One guy who was in a new uniform, Jacob DeGrom, who signed with the Texas Rangers in the offseason, as you probably know by now. He is already seeming to have some issues on some team, his new team rather. Um, he went to camp and he did not pitch. He already has some issue with I don't know. I'm pretty sure it's his arm
Shoulder, shoulder.
and shoulder, arm. You got to think how how do you possibly already have a problem? You just got there. It's a new team. Like you're kind of making Mets fans be like, yeah, I mean, he's injury prone. I'm kind of happy that we didn't sign him. He's a good pitcher, but he can't stay healthy. Um, I'll try to find the exact report, but I mean, if you're a Rangers fan, how much are you sweating right now? Like,
I think that the concern is definitely there. Like, you are worried. You're thinking, oh my God, we just gave this guy all this money. And as the Rangers fan of the day, I don't think I'm that worried just yet because it's the beginning of spring training. He's coming off of an injury season. Maybe it's just his last little kink that he needs to work out. I think that he will still be my Texas Rangers opening day starter.
fair. I think he will start. I think he'll be healthy. It's more of a matter of can he still be healthy for most of the season? Um, I think the answer to that hopefully is yes. He is pitching now, but mind you, this is now a week later, so he did take some significant time off at the beginning of spring training to make sure he was fully 100% okay before he started doing stuff.
I think we're
But
going to see. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
no, 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 go for it, go
I
for it.
think we're going to see him have sort of the same workload, if not maybe just a little bit more, because he is younger than 2022 Justin Verlander. Justin Verlander last season, which was the 2022 season, only threw 175 innings in the regular season, but looked absolutely dominant. Like, no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I think that that's more of what DeGrom is trying to push for, not being the number one starter that throws the 270 strikeouts, or, well, 250 strikeouts. I'll put it at like a nice round number. Like, I don't think that he's pushing to do that. I think that his goal more than anything, because no matter what you say about him, he is the most dominant pitcher when fully healthy in baseball. And I don't think that's even a debate. He's the most dominant pitcher that we've seen when healthy. I think that he just wants to maintain that a little bit more. And if that means taking a tick or two off his fastball or taking a little bit of horizontal spin off of his slider, I think that he's willing to make that trade off.
By the way, it was soreness in his left side, which is why um, he didn't really pitch, and according to him, cold and wet weather also played a factor. So it was not his shoulder.
Oh, I thought it
But
was.
um, it's like you said, his goal is kind of just stay healthy the whole season. I mean, that's really all you can ask for. Do I think he's going to be taking stuff off the fastball? I don't. I don't think he's learned, and I don't think he will. I think he'll continue to throw the exact same way he has, and just when he keeps getting injured, he's going to be baffled, as if like we don't all know it's because he's trying to throw 175 miles an hour every pitch. Like
Yeah.
he needs to change something. Do I think he will change that something? I'm gonna go with no for now, but I mean that definitely could change once the season starts. Like we said, we haven't even seen him pitch. He was just started throwing yesterday, and there's this video going around of him with a there's this video going around of him throwing just on the field playing toss, and there's like a little animation of him just blowing up. So he's got a big misconception. He's got a lot of people that he's looking to prove wrong, and I'm looking forward to see him. I'm looking forward to seeing him hopefully prove them wrong and pitch a full season, because everyone just has a field day with anything that involves DeGrom. Like the picture of him and Greg Maddux talking today.
Yeah.
And I think every single comment on that post was they're going to be pitching the same amount of innings this year. So just a lot of jokes with him. I'd love to see him just pitch the whole season and prove everyone wrong.
Let it be known, that's
Rangers,
wildly disrespectful to Greg Maddux, because I think, even though he is older, I think he could still sling it for 100-plus innings if he needed to. Could the Rangers sign him to a 10-day contract for a couple starts?
how is that disrespectful to Greg Maddux? He's definitely not pitching this year.
You don't know. Nothing's ruled out. Nothing's ruled out. It's baseball. Anything can happen.
I understand that, but I don't think saying that's disrespectful to Greg Maddux makes any sense. He's not scheduled to pitch at all this season.
Hey, Gregory can sling the fucking ball.
Is he scheduled to pitch the season?
He might be. We don't know yet.
He's not.
They're keeping their cards close. Maybe they sign him for the rest of the, sign him on a 1-year deal and then trade him.
Cut the bullshit.
It's good value.
Cut the bullshit. But yeah, so DeGrom, go out there, prove people wrong just for fun. You know?
Are they in the Cactus League or the Grapefruit League? Do we know?
They are in the Grapefruit League. They are in Florida.
Really?
You know this.
The Rangers?
Oh,
Don't tell me you thought I was talking about the Mets. Don't.
I did think you were talking about the. I'm just too used to DeGrom being on the Mets. No, they're definitely in the Cactus because.
Yeah, I would assume, but they're like
they're
equal
a Texas
distance
team.
from each. Whatever.
No, they are not. They're a lot closer to Arizona than fucking Florida.
In Arlington, Texas, I think it's a little bit closer than you can imagine.
They're a West Coast team. They're more of a West Coast team than an East Coast team, and that is a fact. Do
you think that? Okay, here we go. So this is interesting. We'll start it off nice and early. Over under 3.5 starts for Jacob DeGrom this spring training.
The spring training?
Yeah, just during the month and a half of spring training.
Yeah, I'll say over. Because I think like the first two will only be like 2 innings, and then like 4 innings, and then 6 innings if he makes it to 6 innings. But yeah, no, I'm gonna go over. I don't think. Hopefully he doesn't get injured. I'm just hoping he doesn't. But yeah.
Yeah, I get that. I think that we're gonna see him definitely pitch as much as he can in spring training, but also I think this is like the Texas Rangers walking on glass with bare feet. Like they know that it's a dangerous path to go down, but it's one that they have to take because, I mean, we've said it. I think I've said it 10 times already since we started this podcast 10 minutes ago. When healthy, he's the best pitcher in baseball, and it's not close.
Yeah. I guess it's hard to tell if it is close because we haven't seen him we haven't seen him pitch more than a few games in a row in a very long time. So I think to be one of the best pitchers in baseball, you have to be healthy. So, like you said, when he's healthy, he definitely can potentially be one of the best pitchers in baseball.
Yeah, for sure.
And I agree. The Rangers are walking on broken glass. It's like
or thin ice, I think is the word that I was
And
looking
I
for.
and
It's
I
just
why did I say broken
because
glass?
I said broken glass. I said walking on broken glass with bare feet. It's a road
Ah,
that they have to go down, but they don't know how dangerous it could be.
yeah,
Like,
no, it's
I,
yeah.
I think the most exciting part about the Rangers this coming season is going to be their bullpen, not their bullpen, their starting rotation, because Andrew Heaney had a back. Andrew, that guy, had a very bounce back season. They signed Nathan
Don't say his
Eovaldi.
name.
They signed Jacob DeGrom, as we mentioned. They brought back Martin Perez, who accepted the qualifying offer, which pretty cool. Pretty cool. I don't think many players have accepted it, so it's nice to see that he gets a
No,
little
you
bit
don't
of a
see that.
payday. I just think that the rotation is going to be a lot of fun. It's just now a matter of will Marcus Simeon not go through that first half slump that he went through? Will Corey Seager be able to maintain or even up his production now with the shift being banned? Will Jonah Heim come through? Will Nathaniel Lowe come through? Adelise Garcia? Because based on the names, these guys should be, I don't want to say contending for a World Series, but they should be an exciting team to watch.
I agree. I mean, we'll go more in depth when we do there. Will be, um, but I do think they are going to be a pretty good team next season. Like they're on the surface, they don't really have any reasons to be bad. I mean, they have a couple, but we will talk about. But as far as their lineup and rotation goes, it's not bad whatsoever.
Agreed. Agreed. It'll be fun to watch
So
DeGrom starts in spring
it will
training.
be fun to watch. Yeah, and it's going to be hard to. They're in a very tough division this season. I mean, you look at the Astros. When you got a guy like Jeremy Pena with triceps the size of like a
The World Series
cantaloupe.
trophy? Yeah, yeah. I will
I
say,
I'm gonna more say a cantaloupe so that we're not stealing words.
yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Cantaloupe also
Too many
works.
people too many people have said World Series trophy.
I like the wording though. So, but yeah, yeah, cantaloupe is a good one.
It's more cantaloupe because it's a circle. It's not like a
How about watermelon? Because it's more oval shaped.
All right, we'll go with watermelon.
Yeah, I will say that if that's real and that's not like an edited photo or someone's just like using a real good angle, like like a .5 filter that you and I use on our phones to take those stupid pictures, like if it's literally just straight up looks like that, you got to test them for PEDs because
I'm fairly I'm fairly certain it was real because I remember even last year after the World Series ended, I remember him like holding up the trophy and everything, and just thinking to myself, that guy has giant arms.
yeah, but like it's one thing to like Otani. Otani is
I'm
a
not
per-
accused. I'm not about. I'm just gonna say this: we are not about
oh
to
no 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 not at all.
accuse Jeremy Pena of taking PEDs.
No, I want to, if anything, I want to give him his flowers because winning a World Series in your rookie year, I can only imagine, makes you feel like you're on top of the world and that you've done everything right. And the fact that, I mean, to get that cut, that defined, that's not something done in a month or two. That's done October 7th, like the day after the World Series ends. I don't think it was October 7th. Like that's
I
done
mean,
literally like right. You celebrate that night after winning the World Series, and then you get right to the gym. That is
well,
insane. How like perfectly cut that is.
I think he was that. I think he had pretty much the same physique last season. I mean, he probably
I
had a
don't
little
think it was.
but
I don't think it was that well trimmed. Is what I'm saying.
I think
Jeremy
I
Pena,
think it
love
might.
the guy, but holy shit, does he know how to put in work?
I think it might have been, but I think we just might not have noticed.
True, but whatever the hell. Listen, Jeremy Pena, you fucking worked your ass off, and that is just—it's beyond impressive. I think that's really
Yeah,
cool.
he's gonna be a big player for the Astros this year. Hopefully,
Quite
if he can play
literally.
like he didn't. If he could play like he did in the playoffs, yeah, quite literally. I did see something today that like the Astros were like had the fifth best World Series odds. Like I like according to Fangraphs, I think.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous to me. They are by far the best team in
Oh,
baseball.
no
Not by
spoilers.
maybe not by far, but they are no. Well, I'm saying they're on paper they are the best team in baseball.
They proved
Um,
it. They proved it last year.
and and to put them like I feel like constantly every year going into it, they're always too low on like either power rankings or like odds like this World Series odds. I think they're always too low at the beginning of the season. So I think it's just gonna be fun to like look back at the end of the season and be like, wow, they gave them a 9% chance to win the World Series, fifth like best odds behind the Yankees.
Yeah, and then
Like
they'll
you gotta
sweep
have to
them.
go.
Yeah, they'll sweep them in the ALCS and then go on to just absolutely dominate the World Series. I feel like the thing with like fan graphs and all those is that it's more based on strictly numbers and projections when we know that that Astros team is by far like the most productive team on both sides of the ball. And I don't think it's
Yeah,
close.
they lost Verlander, who yes won the Cy Young, but they have some very good replacements. Their bullpen is still really good. They got Jose Abreu. I mean, the Astros are looking pretty good. I think World Series odds are kind of ridiculous.
BS, yeah. And there's plenty more that we will get into when we do our will be for them, which will be sometime before the season starts.
No, I'm just going on a little rant about how World Series odds just bother me because they just take everything into account and like it's accurate to some extent. Like you have the top teams on top, but like it's definitely not fully accurate. So, but yeah. So moving on, big news here out of the NL West. Mr. Manny Machado. As we all know, he is scheduled to either opt in or opt out of his contract with the Padres this season. If he opts in, he will get 5 years to 150 million, and he is going to opt out. He said that he's going to opt out because he thinks he's worth more money than that. And I'm going to be honest, I do agree with him. He is worth more money than that. The Padres tried to add on an extra 5 years for 105 million extra, which puts it to 25.5 million AAV until he's like 41. Which, yes, the longevity is there, but I think he thinks he can definitely make more money than that. So he is going to test free agency next year unless the Padres offer him a different contract sometime this season.
Yeah, yeah, and Machado, let it be known, this is only his age 30 season. I feel like we've been watching this guy for 2 lifetimes just because we've seen him in 3 different uniforms. But, I mean, he's one of the most gifted third baseman in the game. He's more than deserving of the contract that he is looking for, which is reported to be 10 years, $400 million is the basic benchmark that they're setting it at, which if I'm the Padres, I'm kind of freaking out right now because then that makes this the win it all year. Because you have Machado, who said that he's going to test free agency. And after this season, Juan Soto's also going to be a free agent who might garner more, if not like almost, I don't want to say double, but if not $100 million more dollars than Manny Machado. Like, I think this is a very urgent win it all year for the Padres.
Yeah, I think it's interesting because, like you said, Machado and Soto are now both expected to be free agents this season. Um, I think they'll get one of them back, whether it be Manny or Soto. I think because we know they're willing to throw $400 million at a player in free agency, so I think they will get one of them back. I don't necessarily know if they have money for both of them unless they do shorter deals, but I just don't see that likely. Um, so yeah, it's mostly if you can't figure out anything out with Manny, him and Soto are going to be free agents, and at that point you have to choose who you want to throw your money at. And
If you're the
if
Padres,
I'm,
who do you want?
yeah, I was gonna go for that. If I'm the Padres, you have to go with Soto. He's the younger guy. He's got, I would say at this point in his career, he hasn't hit his prime, and he has more potential. I'd say yes, it does depend on how they both play this season. Like if Machado is an MVP candidate and Soto is like has a very bad year, which I don't think is going to
For
happen. Like you
Juan
obviously,
Soto, by the way, a bad year is still probably like an 800 OPS for
but
Juan Soto.
no, but I mean like a concerningly bad year.
Oh, you mean like a slump
Like
year, like
like
Eric
a bad,
Hosmer?
but I don't know. I think at the surface, definitely Juan Soto, just because he's younger and you have the money to pay him for longer, so you might as well. Um, I do think it's a win it all year for the um, Padres. With one of their stars is probably going to be leaving. If two leave, then that's just on them at that point.
So the way that I look at this, and I was talking to myself this morning about it because that's how weird I am. But if I'm the Padres, I try to bring back Manny Machado, and in free agency, I shoot for Shohei Ohtani and try to put him back in the outfield again. I think that's if I'm the Padres, that's what I would do, which seems very out there. I'll admit, because obviously I think that the Padres are pretty set when it comes to their lineup this year. And if they make it far, if they make it to the World Series, if they win the World Series, there's no reason as to why they shouldn't bring everybody back. Like, obviously, the money is an issue, but if you're the owner who you guys just won a World Series with this exact team, bring them back and let's do it again. That's the theory, but it all depends. Oh, dear Lord.
Yeah, no, I don't. I don't think. I don't think that bringing both of them back is really possible. But yes, obviously that's ideal. Of course, that's ideal.
Do you think that if they won the World Series, one of the two would take a pay cut to keep everybody together? Do you see that happening?
No.
I think Manny would before Soto. I think Soto, he's younger, so he might get $500 million.
If if Manny thought like, hey, if we win the World Series, I'll take a pay cut. I
I think that would just
honestly,
mean opting in.
that's what I'm saying. But at that point, it's more of like I don't. It depends because there is a world where Manny's like, I want my money, and it's not like he's old. He's still 30. Like he's not an old player. Neither is Soto, but he's not an old player. I don't know.
Yeah, it's
I
an
don't
interesting
think.
one.
I think Manny's unless they offer him another extension that like blows. That's like 10 years, 400 mil. I think Manny's going to be a free agent this season,
I think we're going to
which
see.
is
Go ahead, sorry.
that's what he wants. That's what he wants. He's said that he wants a 10-year, $400 million deal around that range.
Yeah, I think what we're going
For a
to
reason.
see happen is the same thing that happened with Juan Soto last year, where the Nationals wanted to give Juan Soto the money that he wanted. They offered him, what was it, like $450 million, but it was over.
435.
Yeah, it was over the $400 million mark. That's for certain. They wanted to give him that money, but they wanted to spread it out over 13 years was the first rumored report, and then it came out that it was a 15-year deal. I could see the Padres having the same issue where they know that Machado is worth giving him a $400 million deal, but not paying him $40 million a year for the next 10 years. I think that's where every team I think is going to see an issue unless you're a bottom of the barrel team who wants to like really needs a superstar. Like then you get the desperation like what the Rangers did a couple off seasons ago, bringing in Cedar and Simeon. Like then you get that desperation of like I'll sign them, it doesn't matter, even though their value might not be that. I need them to build my organization. That's where
Yeah,
I go back and forth with my thought process.
that's fair.
Mhm.
Um,
One of them is
yeah,
going to. They're both going to get paid. I think we can say almost for certain one of them is going to get paid by the Padres. I think that's the way that I look at it.
yeah. I think that's like end of story. All said and done, I think one of them will be getting paid by the Padres.
Which, hey,
Um,
AJ Preller masterclass, keeping one of them.
yeah,
That. I'll give you guys a round of applause right now because that's impressive.
is it that impressive?
Yeah, if I told you 2 years ago that Manny Machado and Juan Soto were going to be free agents, and you had the opportunity to only sign one of them, like sign them back to your team, I still think
Yeah,
that's
no,
impressive. Just because of the caliber of players that they both are. That's why I clap. Like I'm not going to clap right now for someone who signs Brett Phillips halfway through the season because he'll get league minimum.
fair. I just want to say this is kind of veering off the whole Manny Machado Padres, kind of going to a more fun, like lighthearted. Um, the NBA All Star Game it made me realize that the MLB All Star Game is the best All Star Game in all of sports
By far, by far.
by far. the NBA All-Star game. They don't try. They try on offense. They don't try on defense. There is no possible way. I mean, there is a possible way, but
Ooh.
you're not going to do it in major league level. There's no way to not try during a game. Like, there's still a guy throwing 90 plus miles an hour at you, and you're still trying to hit the ball. So, like, it's kind of hard to not try. So, I think the MLB All Star Game is by far the most competitive and the best.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna break some news to you live here on the podcast. Let's get your live reaction here. Cleveland
Okay.
Guardians top pitching prospect Daniel Espino
Espino. Yeah.
Espino will be sidelined with a right shoulder strain for at least 2 months. Holy shit.
Why is that a holy shit?
So Daniel is all I'm going to say because I suck at pronouncing his last name. Is as I just mentioned, a top prospect in the Guardian system, and he is widely known in the prospect world as being like the next guy to come up and dominate. Like, he has all the tools. He throws 100 plus on his fastball. He has a disgusting changeup that just seems almost unhittable when you watch the replays of it. The amount of swings and misses that he gets is just through the roof. And everyone was saying that he is like, he was going to get called up after spring training. Like, he was going to ride with the team, probably start off. What?
Who? Like, where'd you see that from? I just want to look.
ESPN right now.
ESPN posted a baseball thing,
Yeah,
like just the normal ESPN.
that's what right here.
Twitter?
No,
Oh,
it's just on the app. It's a notification.
notification.
But
Uh,
that's
okay.
that's upsetting to me because Daniel has been a guy that many prospect watchers have kept their eye on because even if, let's just say, the Guardians were to make a trade for a superstar, he would be like the centerpiece of the trade if it came, like, in prospect terms. He's really good when healthy, but it's upsetting to see that he's already facing a setback.
He's the number 19 overall prospect in baseball, or number 16 according to Major League Baseball.
In all of baseball, he's the 16th overall prospect.
Yeah,
That's really good.
he only pitched in 4 games last season
Mm-hmm.
in Double A. So yeah, having a guy like that sidelined for 2 months is kind of bad. I don't think he was going to pitch this season.
At the major
Maybe
league
towards the end
level,
of the
I
season.
think there was a shot. I spoke to someone who was involved, like, who's a fan of the Guardians, who was saying that they want to see him called up. It's been like everyone saying that this is his season to get pulled up, especially with how certain teams are treating rookies. The Guardians are one of them who call up rookies and they perform. And Daniel could have been the next one. That was what everyone was saying.
The guy hasn't played past Double A. I definitely see a world where you're like, oh yeah, this guy's 22 years old. I'll call him up. We'll see how he does. But when you only pitch he's only pitched 4 games last season. I think you got to let him pitch in the minors for a little bit to start the season. I don't think he was expected to just come up in April and be like this dog.
No, I did expect him to at some point get with the team, barring that he stayed healthy, and now that seems to not be the case.
He still can by September if things happen. I think their rotation's kind of full right now, unless someone just completely does horrible or gets injured. But
hey, or you have a 6 starter. I think that having a 6 starter is very undervalued in this league. I think that's a very smart thing to have.
I think people would rather have more bullpen depth than a 6 starter. So
well, it's the same thing. That's the way that I look at it.
No, not really.
Like, you can have a guy in the bullpen that can stretch out to be a starter. Oh God.
I don't like it. I don't like 6 starters. Stick with 5.
Fair enough.
But, yeah, I guess that is some bad news for the Guardians. Do you have anything else? I mean, we kind of ran through it all. Spring training, like we said, is here. In the next month or so, we'll be at some spring training games, some World Baseball Classic games. We'll be having content on that. We'll be doing our thing. And college baseball has started. So I've been watching a little bit of that. Some fun situations have already happened, one with an umpire and a pitch clock. and denying a player time. Um, and then later in the game, he called timeout when no one asked for it. So that was kind of crazy, a little bit stupid. But baseball's back. And with baseball comes these funky situations like this, especially this year with 3 to 4 major rule changes that we're seeing. There's going to be a lot of fun stuff this season, and I'm excited to see how it looks in the spring training games.
Yeah, yeah, and just a PSA for anybody who's listening. If you're not already following beat reporters for your favorite team, go give them a follow on Twitter, on Instagram or something, because the content that we're seeing, that at least I'm seeing, from, the Yankees beat reporters, the Toronto Blue Jays beat reporters, the Mets beat reporters, the Mariners beat reporters, is just second to none. They're really good, and the MLB has been really good at pushing, getting as much content out there when it comes to showing you what it's like to be at spring training if you don't have the ability to go, or if you can't watch it on TV in the moment. Oh my god, what the hell? Do we have a pop-up on the screen? Oh, we got 2 of them. But definitely go follow them on whatever social media you use, because it's amazing and you get to see plenty of fun moments. The other day I saw Garrett Cole laying out for for a ground ball, which I thought was pretty entertaining.
That was today, no?
No, it was a couple days ago. Early today, I think, I saw Luis Castillo practicing his pickoff move, which just looked so ridiculous because of how much hair he has. It looked so funny. And, I mean, Edwin, I also watched, which is my favorite video to come out so far in spring training, is Edwin Diaz facing off against Francisco Lindor, just in a simulated at-bat, and Edwin Diaz diced up Lindor. Mets fans, be happy that he is on your team.
That reminds me, I also saw a video today of Kodai Senga, starting pitcher now for the Mets. He had 2 at-bats, 2 live at-bats against Pete Alonso today, and he struck him out both times. And Pete was like, that ghost forkball, which is Kodai's signature pitch, is nasty. Yeah. So that's something I am very excited to see this season. Kodai Senga as a whole and the ghost forkball as a whole, I am very excited to see that this season.
Just saying, I'm pretty sure I saw a video of Kodai Senga getting taken deep by Jeff McHitz. So we'll see. Yeah. We'll see what pitches his best.
We'll see what happens. I think for now that's all we got.
Yeah, it's a quick little episode, just recapping, and get ready, guys. Get ready for all the content to come out from us, because we are about to jump into all of our real preseason stuff.
Yeah, we are going to, starting next week, we are going to be doing top 10 at each position. We are going to be doing Will Bees, which are basically our team previews. And we are going to be doing World Baseball Classic content, but that's in a couple more weeks. But it's all very exciting stuff.
Yeah, get ready, and hope you guys stick around.
Baseball.
Shake on it. Baseball. I did that on focus.
We will catch you guys in the next episode. And thank you guys for listening, watching, sharing, subscribing, liking, commenting, and all that jazz. And we will see you guys next time. Peace.